What's up, geniuses? Welcome back to For the Record. I'm your host, Rob Markman. You know, you come here for this show every week for the dopest guests in hip-hop, and today is no exception, all right? My man has been an integral part of the Chicago drill scene. That's where it started, though. But when you look at it, he's really one of the most influential artists of this generation, whether people like to admit it or not. We admitting it right now, right?
Man, appreciate that.
Now, a lot of people kind of run with the style and stuff like that. New album is out, Love Song for the Streets 2.
Love Song for the Streets 2 out, all platforms.
That's what's up. Lil Durk, welcome to For the Record, man. Thank you for doing this.
Appreciate it. You know what time it is.
Yeah, man. How you feeling?
I'm good, actually energized. I'm saying happy about being here.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're on the road too, right? So you just did a show in New York City?
Yeah, we had a show in New York.
That's dope.
Yeah, just vibing, man. I miss touching that stage.
That's super dope, man. Yeah, I know you've been kind of down for a minute.
Yeah.
I want to just get into this album real quick, man. Love Songs for the Streets 2. It's the sequel, you know, it's the follow-up. It's the part 2. And you known for that. You got a couple different series in your arsenal. What made you want to return to this specific concept?
The reaction from the first one. You know what I'm saying? Just with a bigger audience and more to talk about. I just felt like I need to put it out there.
Right. When did you start recording? When did you kind of get down to kind of put the core of this record together?
I'm a studio junkie, so I've been in the studio 24/7. I don't pick my own music.
Right.
Yeah, I let my team pick it.
You let your team pick it. So you just kind of record.
I just record.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, and when we pick the name, I just base all my music around the name of this album.
Man, one of the things about this album that I really enjoy, I mean, it's just indicative of your style anyway, like because it's definitely street, but it's emotional. At the same time, you tap into specific emotions, and it's honest.
Yeah.
With what you're facing right now in your life, you know, you have charges right now. Does that affect how you work the music or how you go into the studio, what you do? Or you know, how does that influence the music?
I got the same mentality as I'm going to the studio.
Yeah.
Whether it's my story or the person next to me story. You know, so I'm always relate, so.
Does it change? Is there certain things that now, like, that you know that people are looking at you? And you've had legal trouble before, not to make this any less serious or whatever, but you kind of been here before. But does it make you, knowing that there's a microscope on you, do you change your music a little bit? Or
no, I just feel, not even just with the case, I just feel that if you in the light, you got a microscope on you.
Right.
Anyway. So it's up to you to fuck it up or keep it going.
Okay. So we didn't get, so you know, that was kind of the question, because again, I hear this thing and it's very real and open and honest, and I'm like, damn, well, it don't sound like you holding back. Yeah. But it's like, is he holding back? Because we know there's real consequences.
Yeah, just for what? I just make good music and relate to the people. That's all.
I want to get to the album a little bit. Well, actually, before the album, there was a song called "Turn Myself In."
Yeah. Right,
that you did when you actually kind of turned yourself in for charges. And I want to ask about this lyric, right? I did a song with Chance tonight. He gave me positive vibes to better my life, to better my image in my life. Turn myself in tonight, head down with these cuffs on, and they read me my rights. Yeah. Was that slide around that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Y'all did slide around that night?
I did slide around before I got locked up.
Oh, man.
So I was just knocking the features out that I needed to do, then I made that song.
That it's always, and again, because it talks about how honest you are in your music and it's your life. And this is a terrible thing. Like, you know, the fact also before you turn yourself in that you go into the studio and document it. So it feels like we're kind of there with you and we're going through what you're going through. So when you mentioned the collaboration with Chance, a couple of months later, we get Chance's album, we get Slide Around. Like, it just automatically made me think of that lyric. Was that the one?
Yeah, and they're just strategizing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just mention the Chance song, knowing it's coming out. And you know what I'm saying? It like could nothing throw me off. Right. Like no matter what.
It was dope. So what was that session like? What was some of the things that he told you? What was that conversation like?
No, just positive vibes. It was just like staying alive to staying out of jail. Right. To just, you know what I'm saying, about giving back to the city, giving back to the community, just working with each other more, just vibing.
That's dope.
And it just had me like, okay, bet, let's get it.
That's super dope, man. And then Nicki was on that song too, on Slide Around. And she's actually on your album, Love Song for the Streets, song called Extravagant.
Yeah, shout out to her. I didn't know she was on Slide Around.
No? So that was just coincidence.
And she did my verse for me and sent it back. Chance hit me like, I got a surprise. I'm like, what? He like, had Nicki on the song. I'm like, oh, that's 2 in 1 week then. Let's get it.
That's hard. That's dope, man. Oh, it was funny because Nicki starts out, you know, we've been here, we interviewed Nicki before. I love just her creativity because she's
smart.
Another artist in
Definitely
that way.
Smart.
Very
Different.
smart, very strategic,
Different.
very honest. So even when, I'm wondering what that phone call is like, right? Cause she's like, she just starts out, yo, Durk, I heard you want to get on a freaky song with the Queen.
Yeah.
And the song it lives up to his expectation.
For sure.
But do you hit her and be like, yo, Nicki, I got this freaky song that I want to get? Like, what's the pitch?
No, I just I sent her a few songs before and she was like, let's just keep doing it. So I'm like, I gotta find just one right song that people want to hear from her. You know what I'm saying? That won't take away from me at the same time.
Right.
And I said, I'm gonna send her this song. I did the song in 2017, 16.
Right. That's dope though. The chemistry was really dope.
Yeah, it's vibes.
And you know, I like to say that because I kind of said in the intro too, just, I mean, your collaborations is way, but you're also like, I feel like you built your own world around you as well, man. And you've been super influential, dog. Like you hear a lot of artists.
I'm just too motivated.
Right.
Like, I'm too locked in. I'm too focused to even let something get to me or stop just because somebody says stop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like going through what I went through, people would have been stopped or been gave up, but nah.
Right. Nah, that's dope, man. Let's get into the heart of the album, man. I kind of want to get into this because I don't want to gloss over
for sure.
any of this. On the intro, man, RN4L.
Yeah.
What inspired that, man? Because the lyrics is just, first of all, the first lyric that you hear on the album when you turn it on, right, is in the hook, man. They tell me don't die young because I'm talented.
Yeah.
Like, I'm big on that. Like, as soon as I press play, what's the first thing I hear? You know what I'm saying? And that being the first lyric I hear, make me think about, well, what's your mind state like going into this album? This the first song. It's heavy.
Well, that's Rondo number 9 talking in the beginning on the jail call.
Yeah.
And he always trademarked himself as real nigga for life.
Yeah.
So as he just talked on the intro, that's how I made it the track. That's how I came up with the name, but just relating. You know what I'm saying? I knew that one line just to catch everybody's attention, like, damn. Because everybody been told that before, definitely or today. What's going on in the streets, or in the world, period.
So it was very deliberate just to start off with that.
Just like, just gonna catch a lot of ears.
That's hard. I mean, what are you going through? I mean, there's certain lyrics on here, right? Like, they left me hanging, they left me abandoned, shit hurt me still. Like, just kind of feeling just, alone or...
Yeah, that's just back to who we started with. Some people we started with, some people who I grew up with. You know what I'm saying, traded or was in disbelief, gave up on us, gave up on me. So I like to talk about all that. I like to touch all them subjects. Cause at the same time, another person going through it.
We'll pick it right up.
Yeah, so it ain't what you said, how you say it. You can say the same thing 4 times, but if you say it 4 different ways, it don't matter.
Right. Does that affect the way that you trust people now?
No, Chicago, just coming from Chicago, period, just got me looking at the world different. You know what I'm saying? Like, not too friendly, not too hard on people, just be you.
Nah, that's dope. Locked Up is another song, right?
Yeah.
And again, when I talk about it, I don't want to be misleading because, you know, when I said it, the project is very emotional. You know, if you haven't heard the project, and this is for the people watching, I'm not talking about it in an R&B way.
Yeah.
But it's the emotions of the streets, right? And what it sends you through. This song is almost like a letter, Locked Up.
Yeah, just talking to the people who locked up.
Okay. Was there anybody specific you had in mind when you started penning it?
Just all the guys, or just everybody who locked up. I want to try to talk for them, who can't get their message out, or who be thinking this, who be feeling this certain way, because you know they get our music in prison. So when they hear it, I want them to be like, "This how I'm feeling right now."
What do you start? Because I think that was a lyric. Forgive me if I'm wrong, because I didn't write it down. I'm going off of memory. Where you kind of end one verse where you like, you know, Obama changed the law, almost alluding to this prison reform that's going on right now. What do you think about what you're seeing now? Like, because we talk about, we know, we see it, right? Like what jail does to you know, Black and brown people specifically, and then not just the people in jail, but the families that they tear apart. You talk about like missing your kids and not seeing your kids and tearing families apart. And then we seen that a lot of these sentences handed down was really unfair to begin with and unlawful, and that's starting to turn around. What's your kind of take on the real work being done about prison reform? Meek, I know, is kind of a poster child for that.
Yeah, I love what Meek doing. You know what I'm saying? And he just raised awareness to the people who couldn't reach. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, to the people who couldn't reach, they always be like, Meek. And he doing the right thing with it. He ain't playing around with it. Like, it's a couple jail calls I answered today. And they be like, holla at Meek. And I'm like, man, he getting that from the whole world.
Right.
holla at Meek. So
Right.
basically, he just the voicer and just, you know what I'm saying, just giving everybody hope.
Right. That's so. And you guys work together on this album too, on Bougie.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
the Bougie record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, that's super dope. Again, man, and you know, I think because you could relate to what you've been through, you are really speaking to people, speaking for yourself, and then speaking to people locked up or people kind of on trial, going through this and the different emotions and the pains that they go through. David Ruffin, like this is where when I say that people may not catch certain shit, like if you just kind of listening on the surface, like David Ruffin's a metaphor.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's really you on your rapping shit. Explain the concept of the song David Ruffin.
You know, David Ruffin, singer. And like in the streets, people sing. We call them snitches.
Right.
So that's how I just interpret it as David Ruffin.
Right. So instead of just, and that's when we talk about the creativity. Instead of just, you could have just called the song Snitch or
whatever.
Just
being smart, being different. You know what I'm saying, separating your song about rats from another rappers.
Right.
And being creative.
A dope bar here. I know a killer that got in the jam. We call him David Ruffin, and they ain't even used the statement. He sang for nothing.
Yeah.
Like that's like, you know what I'm saying? This the shit when I wanted to sit down with you, just to stop for a moment and breathe. Because again, that's just one line in the song.
Yeah.
But if you're not paying attention, that go over your head. But it's like, yo, that's a bar for real. Like, you know what I mean?
But it's sometimes why I play my own music or I play Lil Baby or Gun or something and go back and be like, you will hear the song, then you will play it again and be like, damn, I ain't catch that the first time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it goes sometimes.
That's hard. Nah, that's that. And you know, I feel like it's the climate that we in. I think with streaming, like every Friday it'd be like 20 albums that come out. It'd be so much more music than we ever got. So, but like, you know, shit like this again, slow down, man. Like break it down, talk about it. So just make sure you don't miss this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. Let's going back to this song, man. I just want to kind of get your take. Everybody talking about this Tekashi 6ix9ine and the testifying thing. I know you had sent out a tweet that was basically like you wasn't fucking with that at all. Like, I want to get your perspective, like this, because there's some people who argue that they kidnapped him, they threatened him. What do you expect them to do? You know what I'm saying? And I think people don't understand the street. And then there's some people that's like, when you sign up for that, you sign up for everything that comes with that. Like, what's kind of your take in a general situation like that, you know, since we're on the topic of David Ruffin and snitching or testifying on the stand?
A rat is a rat. You know what you did. Like, if you're not like that, man, just stay away from the streets. Like, be portraying the image that's really not you. You know what I'm saying? The people behind you know that. Like, I know I can't go do nothing with him. Because I know in the back of my head, like, man, he'll tell him if I get caught.
Right.
And they ain't understand that. You know what I'm saying? But nobody deserve to go to jail. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You bogus. A rat is a rat.
Right.
I'm not surprised he told.
Right.
Like, surprising is like somebody who's claiming they from the street, like the voice of the street, and you really know, like, you know, some people be like, man, I feel them lyrics. Like, damn, that shit. Until it hurt your heart, like, damn, that hurt certain rappers hurt my heart.
Right.
Certain rappers I expected to, because they ain't grow up like us.
So there's an expectation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I think, and really I ask you for that, because I think there's a split, you know, when you see on social media, you know, I think that there's a lot of people who listen to hip hop and are actually a part of hip hop who don't come from that lifestyle.
You got people who don't give a fuck about telling and
right.
Won't get into a fight about it, won't be called a snitch. Like, that just how it go.
Right. Nah, but you stand on it. And, you know, like I said, it made me think to ask, one, because of the tweet, but you made a whole song about it, so I know that it affects your life or the people around you.
You could be my daddy. You could be my mama. Like, if you tell, it's like, over it, because my daddy did 26 years for that type of shit.
Wow.
So me even...
Somebody telling on him.
Yeah. So me even talking to one or being cool with one or being something with anything with a snitch, and it was like, fuck everything we stand for.
Nah, I get it. I want to go back to another line on David Ruffin, though, because I didn't know, maybe it quite went over my head, or funeral homes be extorting me because I be paying for the bookings.
Yeah.
Is that how I feel? Like,
just paying for a lot of funerals.
Funerals.
Yeah, just paying for a lot of funerals.
So not really extortion, but it feels like it because you in your pocket.
Every time you look up, man, this funeral got to get paid for. This funeral got to get paid. This funeral got to. That's why I say it for like an extortion.
Right. But you know, it's funny again when we talk about kind of the lyricism here. Like you turn something into something else, because it really that is dope that you could kind of rap about it and express yourself. But that gotta fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like, because that means people close enough around you are dying and people look up to you maybe because you're the most successful in your family, definitely, or within your circle, and the responsibility falls on you.
Yeah.
Like, how do you really deal with that stress?
I don't know. It's like I'm used to it. Like I've been dealing with this shit since I was 17.
Right.
I'm 26, so I'm used to it. I know the do's and don'ts. I know the reals and fakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just know what I got to do. Just get in the studio, just take care of the family and shit like that. Cause ain't nobody gonna make you get up and go to the studio. Like, go to the studio. If you don't go to the studio, they gonna be like, fuck it, and they still gonna ask you for something.
Right. That's crazy. Another line too. I want to. It's just lyric because you paint this picture, man. I could tell the streets what I've been through off of my mugshots.
Yeah.
I think it's so vivid because you could probably at this point, unfortunately, Google them and you could see them lined up. Like we could really see that.
See me smiling on one. That means that's a light charge.
Right.
See me mean much, real charge.
Depending on the charge is your move. Damn, man. How you're a musician now, bro? Like you're a star. Like you're an artist. Do you feel that you made it out, or like?
Yeah, I feel that I progressed.
Yeah,
I feel every day. I feel the progression and the new fans, the fan love. Cause it was at a point in time where it was like, I go somewhere, it won't be no pictures. I go somewhere, they'll be like, damn, you had your run. But now I be looking like, damn, I'm only 23, 20, the fuck?
Right.
Like, something ain't adding up. But at the same time, it was just me not locked in. So as I just cut off the people who didn't care or, you know what I'm saying, like the bad batch, I done locked in to the point now it's scary. Like, you don't know what to expect now. Like, I feel like a new artist. I feel like I'm reborn or some shit like that.
That's dope. Congratulations. Are you confident that you could put everything behind you? I know you got something coming up.
Sure. I ain't worried about nothing.
Okay. I hope so. I want to believe you, man. I don't want to worry about you neither, man. Like
nothing.
Okay.
I'm on my way to the studio after this shit to rap about what the fuck we doing today.
There's a lot, again, man. I'm just going back to the emotion in it, man, because it's authentic. Love Song for the Streets.
Yes.
The record, man. Ain't talked to my youngest son in months. I asked him, please forgive me. I'm in the studio with Killers, and they told me to get out my feelings. I be trying, but I can't. Right there on the hook, like, let's go. Let's kind of break that down. Like, what's going on with your son?
Me rehearing the lyrics back, like, damn. This shit hard, yeah.
But let me ask you a question. Do you normally get this? Because this is what I do, like, and this is what we do here.
Like, honestly, bro, like
in the media, you know
I get that from real fans.
Right. Talk about your kid. You rhyme about your kids a lot. You know what I'm saying? Your youngest son, what's going on there, man? I ain't seen him in months. I asked him, please forgive me.
Just locked in. When I made the song, I was just going through a lot. Like, I need to lock in the studio, and it's like, man, you got to work. You need to work. You gotta get this money. You gotta get this money. Stay out the streets. He dead. He locked up. They need you. It was just like too much going on.
Right.
And I just had to sit back and realize like who to cut off, like I say, and just lock in and focus and just build that relationship with my kids that I ain't have with my daddy. You know what I'm saying? Right. He was gonna stop 7 months. Right. So I ain't want it to repeat itself. I want to change that.
How many kids? 7 kids you have now? 6, 7?
6 plus my girl daughter.
Okay.
7.
God bless, man. And like I said, because even on Locked Up, right, I did so much time for my gun case. Look in the mirror, all I see is my son's face, and my daughter's and my mom's face. The state came with a plea. I told him, get out my face. It's just a thing. Like, so I feel you as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's not just one song, or it's not just one line, and it's not just this project. Yeah. Like, it spreads across the whole discography about how important your family.
The more I grow, the more people gonna go back to the old music and be like, damn. The fuck we've been missing.
It was in there the whole time.
Yeah.
Nah, absolutely.
So that's the goal.
I'm in the studio with Killers. They told me get out my feelings. Do you get? Again, we talk about the emotions, and it's not me trying to clown you. I'm commending you. But as far as from where you cut from or the streets, sometimes that could be viewed as a weakness to be this open.
Because I got people that never been around none of it and just know for what we known for back in the day. I mean, so it's like I be in there with real gangsters or something, and I'm singing. They like, man, do that no auto shit. I was like, hold on. Like, cause I know what the fans want. I know what the girls like. You know what I'm saying? It's just the right time for everything.
But let me ask you a question. You know what the fans want, and you know how this resonates. How much of this is therapy for you to be able to talk about this shit in the way? Like, it benefits the fans, right? Because we love it.
Yeah.
But is it a benefit for you too?
Yeah, because it's like talking to your fans through your music.
Right.
Like, it's shit like you can rap about that they always want to know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like talking about girls, talking about how it was when I signed my deal, talking about what's going on, talking about what we do today, what me and my girl be on. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like they want to hear it. So I try not to cut back and hold back certain things and sound like every other rapper who make love songs.
Who did you listen to coming up that kind of maybe made you feel that way?
As far as what?
Just like, oh shit, here's an artist that I'm listening to, and they an open book with me. They being real honest. They laying it out there. It feels authentic.
I like Bone Thugs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what influenced me anyway. But the Meeks, the Futures, who else? It's just a couple. Bump J. Yeah, Chicago.
Yeah, legend.
Yeah. So it's just I had a handful I should listen to that motivated me to be like, I'm ready to go crazy.
But you be clowning on this album too a little bit, man. Just a little bit. You definitely. I heard Bora Bora. And you said, man, this shit's so crazy. I just see my idol with a fake Protect. I laughed the same way you just laughed when I heard it.
Man, you'll be surprised all the costume ass jewelry out here.
Tell me the story. Break it down. You gonna tell us who it is?
No, we back cool.
We back cool. Well, tell. Can you paint the picture? I want to paint the picture without having to know who it is.
No, it's just somebody I fuck with tough. Like, and he gave me the story where it was like how the jewelers come today. Now you got this Patek or you got this AP. You get this for 90,000. Then you'll sit there for a minute. And they'll be like, or I can get you something that look just like it. I'm like, nah, hell no. You just paid $1,500. Hell no.
That's funny. I mean, but I guess the consensus is, and look,
yeah,
man,
but that's again painting the picture where it's like you think everything is just like 100 with everybody and everything. Right. When you don't see flaws,
because most people can't tell the difference. Like the average person couldn't tell the difference between the real one. And I'm not in the market for one, so I don't need the real one. I don't need the fake one.
Around the time I was in the market for one,
right?
And I found it was fake. I'm like, damn. I'd rather wear nothing. Like, fuck that.
Right.
I work too hard for this shit.
I feel you. Does that change the way you look at the game? Does that open? Is a moment like that like an eye opener for you in terms of because you come in believing the shit that we see?
If you just have to. Cause everybody facade. Not everybody, but you gotta think about it. People worry about selling music, selling records. So if they gotta make up some shit to do it, I ain't gonna fault you for it. Right. But don't portray yourself as something that you ain't, or you gonna end up like 6ix9ine.
Right. Word. What's your favorite joint off this album? Do you listen to your own music?
Yeah, you can't do that.
Come on, yeah, we can.
It don't count.
We can do anything.
No, I said it don't count when you say that because I'm gonna say all the songs.
All the songs, right?
I'm gonna say all the songs.
You don't got one that kind of just stand out to you? It's cool if you don't.
Yeah, but the one with 21 Savage.
The 21. Yeah. How'd that come about?
Studio vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you're in the studio 24/7 and you in the same city, it's just like pull up.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference between creating, because you have relocated to Atlanta, being able to create in Atlanta versus Chicago? You rep Chicago to the bone, but being in Atlanta, is it a different type of creative vibe out there?
Yeah. See, Chicago, I don't know, Chicago just a different type of animal. Like, it's like no morals type shit. Like, so I feel like me going to Atlanta and just recording, it's like I can let my guards down a little bit and really just work. In Chicago, you gotta look around and see who there, see who you cool. It's just too much going on.
Right.
So I know what I had to do to stop all that. I had to get out the environment.
Right. I feel like Savage. It kind of makes sense to talking to you. I've interviewed Savage a couple times. He actually performed here at Genius 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? And similar in that way. Like I think he just believed what he believed. He got a code and things that he stick by. He just walk his path. You know what I'm saying? And then so it kind of makes sense that y'all would link up and collab in this way.
For sure.
Yeah, that's dope. You and A Boogie. I thought it was funny when you said A Boogie's Mary J and I'm Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, motherfucker singing like a motherfucker together.
Well, y'all talked about. I know there was this talk of a joint project between y'all. Is that still something that could be a reality?
Yeah, we actually got like 25 songs. Like it was to a point we would just gravitate and just keep working on the tape. Then it was like, all right, bet, look, I'm gonna do this, get myself together. He like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, get yourself together. I'm gonna get myself together, then we'll come back and fuck him up.
It's funny, man. It's like when I heard you say that though, A Boogie's Mary J, I'm Lauryn Hill. Like, you know, just even
like,
playing with that imagery, like,
nah, yeah, you know, we different, but
right.
we and them motherfuckers have a straight singing competition. Who got the better melodies or who got like it's just fun, man. That's how you got to make the studio though.
Right. So
like just fun, just have fun. 'Cause that's the best music.
That's hard, man. Like, nah, it's funny too because before, like, I knew y'all was always cool. Even from just the tweet, I think when we all see them unfold in real time and like, yo, it'd be dope to do a project with A Boogie, and then he respond, I had never thought of even putting y'all in the studio together.
Yeah.
And then that thought starts to happen. You hear you said, he's like, oh, this shit worked. Like, there's a real chemistry here.
Yeah, as long as you have fun, I think it can work with anybody.
Right.
If it's forced and business, it's like, let me get out of here.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I should throw you some more to see if you can make it work. It's just bad curveballs. But man, what's next for you then, man? Durk, like, I know you just put this project out. You're out on the road. And again, we know you're facing some things. Confidence, you exude confidence right now.
For sure.
What's kind of the next couple moves for you, man?
Just working, cause I ain't do a lot of interviews when I dropped the album. So just doing interviews, talking about the album more. Basically just press, doing these shows, getting back to these fans. We got a lot of, got more music on the way, apparel on the way. I'm saying just doing stuff we was lacking on that we didn't see what was important in the past. So just working on the clothes, working on branding, endorsement, face getting bigger. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. No, that's super dope. What do you want people to get away from this album, man? We talked about, I know I spoke a lot about how I viewed it, but
just
really, what did you want people to take away from this album?
Just showing the versatile, showing more melody, showing that like the song with A Boogie, just, you know what I'm saying, just different songs, just not sticking to one sound, just not sticking to drill. It's just like talk to these females, let's get in these clubs, let's talk to the streets, let's slow it down. So I just want all like mixed emotions.
Nah, it's dope, man. It's a really dope body of work.
I want to have that mixed emotion, but still be Durk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's good. I think you accomplished that because nothing feel. It's definitely different. Like I didn't see the joint with you and A Boogie come in and quite kind of sounding like that, but nothing really kind of feels like a reach or like damn,
I'm doing too much.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I commend you on that because that's hard to do because you might be ambitious in your mind and then when it come out, a lot of artists would be like, damn, man, that's not really my lane. Or whatever. Nah, but you did a dope job in balancing it all.
Sure.
All right, man. I end every show with this. I always ask every artist this, man. If you could rap a verse, a cappella of somebody that influenced you, or a verse just that you know off the head that you love to rap, or maybe you love to rap coming up, what would it be?
Birdman, put these niggas in the trash can. Leave them outside of your door on the trash, man. He said, you snitched, I'm having in the grass. Sooner or later, I come and get the blaze out your... You sideways getting A's in it while your homie here trying to get paid in advance. The Wayne is like the real GOAT.
Right. Can we say that officially at this point, man?
What?
I think it's crazy. It's crazy when people...
Man, nigga, hey, look, I'm only gonna tell you, so this can't leave the room.
Okay.
No, I'm talking shit. Wayne reading the motherfucker got dreads, dye, all type of shit.
Right.
Like, that's who really started, like, this whole everything.
Right. That's a fact.
Yeah. Niggas ain't gonna say it, but that's a fact.
Nah, it's a fact. Super influential, man. And, you know, but that's what hip-hop is. Like, he was influenced by somebody. You know what I'm saying? And so it's the same way, like, Durk is going to, you know, it's going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Somebody right now, 10, 11, 12 years old, listen to his album, writing their first rap, playing with their first melody, getting their first piece of studio equipment, and they're going to be sitting in this chair or with somebody else and being like, yo, Durk was the one.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to salute you for that, B.
I appreciate y'all.
All right. Nah, man, thank you for coming, man.
Love.
And thank y'all for watching. You already know. Talk to us in the comments. We talk back. This is For the Record. See you next week.